Hi, Namaskara. I am Ravi Surya. I am joining from Bengaluru. In this ATA GTR speaker interview series, I have with me Anindita Rath and Mahathee, both joining me. Anindita is joining from Orissa, that is Bhubaneswar, and Mahathee is joining from Hyderabad, something like Bangalore, Hyderabad, and
yes,
yeah, something like this. Okay. Yeah. So it's a pretty chill day in Bangalore, and I hope the same climate in Bhubaneswar. And I see winter gets a bit cold in Hyderabad, right, Mati?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, but yes, guys.
Yeah. Okay. So to introduce our speakers, okay, in brief by me, Andita, she works in Bangalore with IBM in the role of SDET, and Mahathee works with persistent systems in Hyderabad in the role of project lead quality. So I will take the further talk with this speakers. And Andita, can you brief more about you and what you do? Yes, Andita.
Okay, sure. So you already know my name is Anindita Rath. Basically, my hometown is based out in Odisha, Bhubaneswar. I work as a SDET in IBM. So I recently have joined IBM. So I work in both like functional and all different kinds of testing areas that you can say. And except that, basically, I like to take part in whatever activities that I find relevant or that I find interesting in testing space. Basically, like ATA, GTR, and many other conferences that I have been part of. So, yeah.
Yes, thank you. Mahathee, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm from Hyderabad and I work as a project lead with persistent systems. And I've been a developer initially in my career and moved into testing from the last 5 years or 6 years. And I've been a very active member in various communities. Apart from ATA GTR, I was actively involved with the test drive, and I involve in all activities that pick my interest. And I like learning new things and keeping myself updated. And I also volunteer for conferences like Selenium Conf was one recent conference where I volunteered for hosting. And networking is something that I also like. So I get to talk to a lot of like-minded people. And that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, I see you almost in all places in the community and in every events almost. Yeah. Good. Okay. The talk of these two speakers is testing the conversational AI. So I understand that is a chatbots. So the question I have is now to Mahathee. Can you briefly talk about this topic?
Yeah, so as a part of this conference, we are speaking on the topic how to test a conversational AI, which is nothing but a chatbot is basically what we'll be discussing about. So as you know, chatbots are a kind of an AI ML implementations, and it is a most widely adopted AI ML implementations in the industry side, and a lot of sectors are embracing chatbots. If you see, like healthcare is one common industry where chatbots are being used. I can relate it personally also because my father's hospitalization process has been settled through a chatbot. The MediAssist chatbot was one such example that I can relate to. And if you see, these are built using NLP algorithms or expression matching engines. And these are basically self-learning systems or self-evolving systems. If you see, your first interaction with a chatbot will not be the same as how you interacted with the second time. Probably sometimes you might not get the desired answers, what you look for, but based on your interactions on and above, the chatbot experiences will be enhanced. And certain voice assistant or when you're ordering some food through Swiggy, our experiences all the time may not be pleasant. So that is one thing I can say. And also last year, if you see, there has been a lot of dominance of smart assistants and voices. If you see, relate to would be Amazon's Alexa, which is frequently used by many people in their houses for common things like whether to play a music of your choice, or to control certain actions, and Google's home automation systems, which I use for operating electronic appliances in my house. So that is what we will be basically talking about. And also, as for the automation part, Bodium is the industry leader, and we are planning for a demo mostly, and we would be using Bodium as a part of our demo. There are a lot of possibilities in this area, if you see, because chatbots have no barriers, and they provide different kinds of experiences and challenges. Not all challenges can be tackled, but at least to our experience and whatever we have learned, we will be presenting this topic to the best of our knowledge. And upcoming years have a lot of potential in this area. So a lot of new tools are also evolving, and research is also being done. So one example in the research part of the area I can relate to is, if you know, I'm from Hyderabad, and Hyderabad has T-Hub, which is called Telangana Hub, which is having a lot of startups embedded in it. So there is, I can't reveal the name, but there's one healthcare-based startup which is only working on bots. So they have an extensive research-based laboratory and an extensive, PhD scholars who are working in this area and doing a lot of great work, which is going to be shown in the industry soon. So this is a fair bit about what we'll be talking about.
Okay. Yeah. So when I say this, yeah. So I got the metro pass. It means the metro train pass to my kid. Okay, this is the metro pass. Means the Bengaluru metro. It's called Nama Metro. Okay.
Yes.
So until like last month, so we used to either go and take a ticket, that's token, or use this pass. Okay, that was a travel mode. Okay, from November 1st in Nama Bengaluru, they have introduced like we can purchase the ticket on WhatsApp. So that means they send a QR code, and we can show that QR code to the scanner, and we can commute. So again, I was referring to your top details of your both, and then when I came to know that that they introduced a feature on that day, so then I thought now Metro has got a bot, which will help me to purchase a ticket. So means using WhatsApp, WhatsApp they operate, and I can make a payment through using a Beam, and I can proceed. So bought in Nama Metro to purchase ticket. Okay, good. Anindita, this question is for you. So what would the audience take back to their desk or to their learning by attending this talk of you both?
Okay, so as you know, our topic is specifically related to how do we test a conversational AI, that is a chatbot. So we'll be talking about various of topics, like just Mahathee mentioned there are many different kind of industries that are using chatbots. So we'll give examples of what are industries that are using, why they are using. So basically, not all of the industries use chatbots, right? If you have a small startup or something, you don't need to pay so much money to have a chatbot or something in a place. So there are different, you can say, alternatives to use a chatbot. There are different types of chatbots that you can choose depending on the business that you do, right? So we'll be talking about different industries, then what are the chatbot features that you are looking for your business. And then coming to the testing part, we will talk about what are the testable functionalities that we can find out in a chatbot. So the main and important part that we'll be talking about is there are a lot of challenges that when we test a chatbot. Why? Because as in previously Mahathee mentioned, these chatbots are a self-learning system. So we can't gather the data from all over the world and feed into the system. So that becomes a very, very crucial challenge when it comes to testing a chatbot. So we'll be talking about many of the challenges like this. Then what are the different kinds of testing that we can do on a chatbot, like functional, automation, performance, different kinds of testing, right? And then we'll be talking about basically how to develop a test strategy. For example, you are given to test a chatbot, for you are getting a new project or something. So how will you develop a test strategy around it, right? So we'll be talking about that, and then we'll be talking about what are the tools that are available in the market and which tool basically you can go for depending on the requirements that you have.
Okay.
So I like overall, I'll say that, whoever is looking or whoever is already idea around, how to do it and what will to need to improve or something. So yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that would be a good take back at least. Okay, it gives an idea like how to.
Just to add one more point, the previously mentioned this chatbot has been integrated in WhatsApp, you said, right?
Right.
So now these chatbots have been integrated in most of the social medias like Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, Messenger, and everywhere. So you don't have to open a site and go to some one interesting part of this topic.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I have a bit of my experience in using chatbot. Though I've not tested chatbot, as in a project, chat this time. Yeah, I will reach out to one of you with my questions very soon. Going further, I have a question now to Mahathee. Mahathee, what happens today if there are no chatbots?
Interesting question. There's nothing that will happen or will not happen. People adopt to technology, as most companies or most people adopt to technology without understanding the pros and cons of a technology. Evaluate your organization or your project need and check first if it value to your business. And if chatbots can give you that customer experience. Ultimately, when we work in a project or we work for an application, there will be different metrics which we assess. So one of the experience would be user experience or customer experience, if you see. And there are many benefits that chatbot is offering. For example, now I told, if you remember in the previous question, I told you I handled my father's medical process with chatbot. So earlier, Medi Assist was a very I would say frustrating experience. I worried so much that I did not want to go for that. But when the helpline person told me, and the bot was so helpful that I did not even have to call the helpline and typically follow up with them and continuously go through and get irritated off and on and off. So after seeing that benefit, I felt I got so much of relief and post meds and all of you see. So this bot had everything. I did not have to go through a person. So that is one thing I've seen. Nothing can replace human interaction, if you know, but in certain cases or in certain places, after certain hours, office hours, we will be working in certain time zones. Okay, in different projects, different people work in different time zones, if you see. After a certain time, there might be people who may or may not answer your queries. Earlier, for airline booking, if you see, after a certain time earlier, you would never get proper replies and you would be waiting throughout who will answer my query or who will give a response to my query. You would get an automated message saying that thank you for sending in your query. Our provider will get back to you. But for certain airlines, I see that because of bots, the response has been prompter. And you don't have to wait for people to answer your queries, and your business is increased and your solution has scaled. So that is basically what I feel. I would not say every system or an application should have a bot in place, but having it's all about whether you work on an application or a product. It's all about humans who are interacting with systems at the end of the day. And when you see certain benefits, definitely you would like to embrace. Although there are challenges, we will be addressing challenges also as a part of the bot, because every system comes with its own pros and challenges. So there's nothing specifically that that I would say that if a bot is not in place, this cannot happen or this will happen. So it basically depends on the use case that you're working with.
Okay, so while I was testing, one bot in a practice. So I learned, this is one more user interface now meant to interact with the system. So one, I have the web or mobile apps. Means web is one interface, mobile app is another interface. Now chatbot is another interface through which I can interact and get what I want. So that is what I learned in my first interaction with the bot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Next question, to Anindita. So Anindita, I'm curious, and maybe the audience who are listening to this interview are also curious as me. So how, okay, the AI is used, okay, in this chatbots. So that's one, okay, that's one part. The other part is, okay, if I am not well aware of AI, can't I go and test this chatbots? Yes, later.
If I had to put in, in a way, so basically AI is itself a very, bigger topic, right?
Right.
So the part of AI that is involved in developing or testing or like related to chatbot, that is NLP, right? Natural language processing.
NLP.
Even in NLP, there are, different parts like NLU and NLG. So NLU is natural language understanding and NLG is natural language generation. So basically, what the difference between this is, when a chatbot receives input from the user, it understands, right? So that is called NLU. And then according to the input that it is getting and the data that we have fed into it, it processes all the data and it generates one different output. So that is called natural language generation. So that these are two different processes which is related to NLP itself. So that NLP is the main, you can say, heart of the chatbot through which it is working, and everything that we are seeing, it is happening backend at the NLP itself.
Okay. So while I was practicing, so what I understood is some bots also takes a video input, and some bot also takes the voice input, and some bots also takes the text inputs. So while I was testing, and debugging this chatbot in back, what it is doing, I learned it is trying to analyze the sentiments of a text, what I'm typing, and the sentiment of a video that I'm capturing and putting as input, and the voice. Okay, it means if I speak in English or Kannada or Telugu or Odia or Odissi, so it picks that word and it understands this is from this language, and it picks the meaning and it tries to give back the response in that language again. Yeah. So this testing with Alexa. So that Echo Dot. Yeah. I had come to Hyderabad for one of the events from one community. I got this Echo Dot as a prize. So when I came back to home, I routed that I debug means then I was trying to watch on the proxy like what happens. Yeah, this is what I learned here. So audience, yeah, this is one of the talk which I would love to see and ask more questions when our speakers present